there's the grandpa, and they were all sitting around the kitchen, and it was a pancake morning. Mom was squeezing oranges for juice, and Henry and I was betting on how many pancakes we could each eat. And what was grandpa doing?
Okay.
He's flipping them. He's flipping the pancakes. There was Carol. Seconds later, something flew through the air toward the kitchen ceiling and landed right on Henry. What was it?
Pancake.
A pancake. After we realized that the flying object was only a pancake, we all laughed, even Grandpa. Grandpa's so funny. That night when we went to bed, Grandpa told us a bedtime story. He said across the ocean, over a huge bumpy mountain, across 3 hot deserts and 1 small ocean, there lived the small town of Chew and Swallow. It's a funny name, isn't it? Here's the town. In many ways, it was like other small
There's
towns.
no more food.
Yeah, it had a main street, there were stores and schools and houses and about 100 people and cats and dogs. But no food store. So there was no Kroger's, there was no IGA, no food stores. They didn't need any because the sky supplied all the food they could ever want. Hey, do we get our food from the sky or do we go to a store and get it?
We go to the store.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how they're going to get food. There's Grandpa's got his hand down. The only thing that was different about Chew and Swallow was the weather. It came 3 times a day, at breakfast time, lunch, and dinner, and everything everyone ate came from the sky. Wow. Let's see what all they have. Whether the weather is what they ate, but it never rained. I can't see that far. And it never snowed snow. It just made things like soup and juice. Gosh, can you imagine going out and peas and cauliflower and cheeseburgers falling from the sky?
Yeah. It's food.
It's food. And when we had a storm, it was a storm of hamburgers. The people could watch the weather report on television in the morning, and they could even hear a prediction for the next day's food. So when he's looking at the TV, the weatherman may say, oh, tomorrow it's going to rain spinach, or maybe it's going to rain mashed potatoes. When the people were outside, they just carried their plates and their cups and their knives and their napkins with them. Wherever they went, they had those. Looks like we've got some pancakes, we got pie, we have some soup, and we have some chicken legs falling from the sky. Carol, how would you like those? The menu varied. By the time they woke up in the morning, breakfast was coming down. Look at that. So when you guys got off the bus, we would hold up our plates and it would rain our food, like eggs and sausage and bacon and toast with jelly.
What about waffles?
It's not raining waffles this day. It looks like it's having, what else do I say? Eggs,
It's
toast, sandwiches. And for lunch, we had hot dogs already in their buns. So hot dogs fell out of the sky with buns on them. When the wind drifted to the east, it brought in baked beans. And sometimes we even had a little coke fall from the sky.
Squirrels and birds.
Look at this. Dinner one night consisted of pork
There's a
chops.
Jello.
And occasionally we had some ketchup falling from the sky. And peas and baked potatoes. And look at that big dessert of Jello.
Jello. I love stuff. I love Jello.
You love Jello? You would be happy. Look how big that Jello is, Isabella. This guy is the garbage man. And look what his garbage truck looks like. It looks like a big bowl. And what's he picking up the food with? A fork and a spoon.
And a plate.
Yeah, and a plate. The garbage man cleaned up the food every day, and he took it and they fed it to the fish. Let's see what else happens. Life for the townspeople were delicious until the weather took a turn for the worse. You know, that newspaper said, spaghetti ties up the town. One day there was nothing but smelly cheese all day. The next day all we had was broccoli. And on a birthday party, oh, Brussels sprouts with peanut butter and mayonnaise. Another day, it was so thick outside we had pea soup to eat. Oh my goodness.
I have new boots.
The food was getting larger and larger, and the people were starting to get scared. Violent storms showed up. Tuesday, there was a hurricane of bread and rolls all day long. Look how big those are, too. They're like a baseball or a basketball. And then, most of the time, I just lost where I was, guys. Oh. Let's see, everyone had to stay indoors because the roofs were damaged from the falling bread. To help the people, they piled up all the bread. Then came the worst, a storm of pancakes one morning with a downpour of maple syrup. Look at that. It covered our school and no one could get into it.
And the roof.
How would you guys like to come to school, get off the bus, and see a big pancake over our school? Lunch one day brought in 15 inches of cream cheese and jelly sandwiches. Everyone ate until they were sick. Oh, look at them. They're hurting their stomachs. Oh, we ate too much. Then there was an awful salt and pepper wind accompanied by, worse, a tornado made of tomato ketchup. Look at that. Is it picking up the stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, it made a mess. There were seeds everywhere.
Yeah, because that is a lot of ketchup.
It is a lot. The garbage men were so busy picking up food. All of a sudden, cheeseburgers and donuts and noodles and ice cream and what else do we see?
Pizza.
Pickles and cheeseburgers and Cheetos and ice
Pizza.
cream, and I think this is steak and pizza came falling from the sky. It was a matter of what are we going to do? So the people, they took all the bread, they glued it together. What do you think they might make with that?
A sandwich.
A sandwich?
A
or
sandwich boat.
a sandwich boat, a sailboat. So they all
Yeah,
got on
the
the big
yeah,
sandwich
the
boat
shark
and they
is-
sailed off.
Hey, the shark is eating the sandwich.
Oh, he was eating the sandwich?
Yeah.
Until we came to a new town. A town that was made of bread houses. Oh my gosh, I lost my spot again. What would happen if we had bread houses? Do you think people might try to eat them?
Yeah.
Oh, the
The
children
dogs
began.
will.
And the dogs will.
When they eat that sandwich off, they are going to begin.
I think you might be right. So the children went to school,
Hey,
and the grown-ups went to the supermarket because they had to
Are we
buy
gonna play
food
after
from
the
the store
story?
again. And it never rained hamburgers ever again. And the next morning we woke up to see snow falling out our window. So now they have snow. They don't have